It's Joe and Carolyn Reno. We're the owners of the bus. Acquired it out of a barn in Michigan where it had been sitting undisturbed for 15 years, found it about 3 years ago. And then at some point we just got interested in trying to update this thing and convert it to electric vehicle. I've always had Volkswagens and always worked on them too. I'm kind of a car guy, and I keep reading on this technology. I'm very much interested in it. I see the advances. I see battery improvements almost on a weekly basis. And I just think this technology is going to take over sooner than people expect it to. Well, Carolyn, of course, teaches here, veterinary tech, and you know, she proposed it to me that there was an automotive hybrid class that seemed to fit real well with this conversion. And then I guess she approached Tom and talked about the possibility of it. It seemed to be like a good fit. It seemed like a learning experience, particularly for me and the students. And it just felt like a good fit. And so we wrote the check and bought the kit, and here we are. Auditing Tom's course was just a ton of fun, and I learned so much. I love interacting with those students and their enthusiasm.
Tom Friels, I'm a professor here at Automotive, and we have kind of a special project here. Not normally we would do something like this, but we're converting a 1975 Volkswagen bus to full electric drive, and it's a project we started with a class in the spring semester. I teach a electric hybrid automobile class, and this was kind of a special project we took on. So the process of this is converting a original 75 Volkswagen to full electric drive, and that process started in the class. So we had our students basically involved with that. We removed the original engine, which was an air-cooled 1.8 liter engine. The gas tank, the fuel lines, the exhaust, all that stuff's basically unnecessary at this point. It's getting a 122 volt, I believe, battery setup. We're still assembling that. An electric motor, it's 88 kilowatt motor, which is somewhere around 118 horsepower. I hope the math's right there. So that's actually quite a bit more power than it originally had, which is kind of nice. We retain the original transmission and final drive, which makes it a little bit easier transition to happen. But a lot of this is adding a lot of components that were not on the vehicle, and there is no manual. So the kit that we have is from a company out in California, and they've been doing this for a while. They kind of assemble a bunch of these parts and sell them as a package deal, and then there's a lot of other things you find out along the way that you have to fabricate yourself. And we'll show you some of that stuff, because that's where a lot of the time-consuming stuff has happened. The theme we keep going back to here is there's no manual, so we're basically kind of figuring this out as we go, and that's literally what we're doing. So we built on some of the basics of what our OEM existing vehicles are. So in the class, we'd still talk about hybrid batteries or high-voltage batteries, and we work on the bus, we're actually trying to assemble high-voltage batteries and basically adapting them to work for what we're doing. And then I'd say some of the other stuff that was not even remotely related to the fact that it's an electric car is there's some fabrication of items that just would be mundane in most circumstances. Things like we need to make a new bracket for the throttle pedal, the accelerator pedal, just because it's used from a different vehicle and it didn't come from a 75 bus. So just little things like that, you know, basically are outside the realm of a normal automotive class, but I think those are the things that they really learned a lot of stuff on. The course that we teach is basically normally the students that are in there is their last semester. A lot of times it's the Honda students are usually taking it because their schedule fits, or the Mopar Cap students, or just any of our comprehensive students will be able to take that course. But it's not a course you just walk into. You know, you want to have some background in electrical, obviously, but I believe we've set the thing to have at least electrical 1 and engine performance, because they kind of go together with hybrid. It's now starting to kind of make that its own little transition organically on its own, because now that the full electric market is starting to ramp up, we're starting to incorporate a lot more of that. So it was almost like the timing was perfect, or it was the right point in time for this to come along. And I don't think I could have done this probably 5 years ago, just from, knowledge accrued, I guess you could say.